Hi there, welcome to Meal Kit Reviews. What we've got here is the RUSH72 Backpack. It's been about for a while, right, and I can understand why they keep this in the range because it really is quite a formidable pack. Right, I've had a few questions, right, where people think that this RUSH72, the 72 metres is 72 litre. Right, it's not, right, it's designed as a 72-hour pack, carry everything you need for a 72-hour op. Right, I must admit, right, this gets used for all sorts of things at home, right, shopping, you name it, it gets used, right, and it's used a lot, and it's stood the test of time very, very well. Right, it's a fairly large pack, right, I mean, as packs go, right, I mean, there's a lot bigger out there, but do you really need to go huge? That's always the question that I have, right. The actual size of the pack, right, it's a 2,639 cubic inch pack. Not sure what that is in litres, but I'm sure you guys can work that one out. But the physical size of the pack, right, from top to bottom, is 23 inches. It's 13.5 inches wide. This is the main compartment I'm talking about, right, by 8.5 inches deep. So you can get a lot of gear in it. I've just come back from a couple of weeks away, and I'm not into taking clothes to wash while I'm away. I take enough for the 2 weeks, and that's it. The washing gets done when I get home. 2 weeks worth of clothes, right, including a couple of jackets, went into this pack with no problem at all. Right, in fact, there was room to spare, so you know you've got a good sized pack here that's going to give you the sort of carrying capacity that you may well need. Everything about the pack is over-engineered, the same as with all 511 packs. That's why I buy them. Right, there's no danger of things coming apart, bits dropping off. We'll go quiet for a minute because of the wind. Right, it's dropped a little bit. I hope you can still hear me all right. Hold on. Right, that's better. I'm going to start on the back of the pack on this. Right, the shoulder straps are full of a closed cell dual density foam. Right, I've got to say it's incredibly comfortable. They're not overly thick, but they do work. Right, they're ergonomically designed, as you can see. They fit and they mould themselves to your body. You've got no risk of chafing or anything digging in you. I've never had that problem with this at all. Right, you've got plenty of additional straps here. This is to take a water bladder tube, right, or maybe a microphone wire. Right, again, we've got some molly loops down here. Right, an adjustable sternum strap, right, which easily unclips and moves up and down on these. Right, it's going to fit you, there's no doubt about it. Right, you might need to play with it for a little while, but it will fit once you get it to your size. Straps, loads of length here. Right, they really are long. Right, Duraflex hardware. Right, nicely concealed under this nice little flap here. Right, so you can easily unclip it, but they're nicely hidden so that you're not going to sustain any unnecessary damage. Right, they are very adjustable. You've got a nice little elastic loop there to take care of the loose end, so you haven't got that flapping around. Right, we'll move on to the back here. Very well ventilated, drainage hole down the bottom. You'll see the reason why in a minute, and it's well padded as well. Something that is important with a larger pack. Right, the Rush 12 and the Rush 24 are equally well as padded, right, and ventilated. But the bigger the pack, the more weight, the more this becomes a necessity. Right, this works really, really well. Right, we've got a dual end zip here, so we can undo the back here. It's a hydration pack as well. You can get a big bladder in here, really big. Right, it's got a stiffener and also a, if you can see that. Right, you've got a bar and also the usual. I'm not sure what type of plastic it is, right, but it does the job really well. It stiffens it up nicely, stops things from the pack digging in your back, and positions it well on your back because it's shaped. The suspension strap in the top here for your hydration bladder to hang from, with the exit hole here for the tube, which we'll show you where that pops out in a minute. I've got to say, there's a couple of little toggles in here. If anybody knows what they're for, can you please let me know, because I can't work it out. Right, perhaps it may be, right, a different style of bladder suspension point. It may be, right, but I don't know. Right, but anyway, I use the strap for my bladders, and that's the type of suspension point I've got. We just zip that up. Right, we're going to move you around to the business side of the pack. This is the bit that people really love. Right, we've got a really big organisation panel here, right, which is, it really is something else. You can get so much kit in here, it's unreal. Right, nice big pockets in here. You've got a zip mesh pocket up the top there, right, which is great when you pop things in there. You can obviously, you know, see exactly what's in there straight away. This isn't stitched to the flap, it's separate. So you've got these two other big, let's just turn that round a bit, I can still see it, all right. Right, you can undo this, right, you've got these strapped pockets in there, right, for radio equipment, anything at all that needs to be secure. You've got two of those. Right, then when you move on to this side of it, wow, you've got two bigger pockets there with straps over the top. Business card pocket here. Right, you've got 3 pen loops in there. Right, you've got 2 attachment points for key rings or anything you want to attach to a lanyard easily. Nice big pocket in here. Zippered pocket there, great big one, goes right down to the bottom of this bit here. Right, so it's plenty big enough to get all your kit in. Another zippered mesh compartment there. Right, really is no expense spared on this pack. Very, very well thought out. I do carry some gear with me. I haven't managed to fill this bit up. Right, I do have to be careful I don't start carrying too much, right, as I'm sure some of you do out there. Right, but I say there's plenty of room there if you need to. Move up the top here, you've got a nice big easy access pocket. Right, again with another pouch pocket in here and another zip up mesh pocket on the inside. Right, again, works really, really well. Sorry, the pack itself is made out of 1050 denier nylon, which has got a water repellent PU-X2 coating on the main body. I would imagine that's some sort of maybe Teflon type coating, right, which gives it water repellency. Again, I've had this out on the bike, right, it's been pedalling, never had a problem with anything inside getting wet, so I think you're looking at a real live downpour right before this starts to cause any problems. The usual fleece lined pocket up on the top here, right, ideal for your sunglasses or your cell phone, right, whatever your MP3 player. We talked about the hydration pocket on the back. When you've actually fed the pipe through the exit port, on the top here, either side of the grab handle, you've got 2 ports openings there. Right, you can use those for the hydration tube, right, antenna for radio system, choice is yours. Right, we've got some more molly webbing up on the top here. We've got it all over the front pocket. On the side pouches, right, these side pouches, I think they're great. Right, they just nicely tucked away so they appear to be hidden. They're not, you can get some pretty big bits of kit in there. Right, I mean, I've had 1.5 litre Nalgene bottles in there with plenty of room to spare. On the inside, this applies to both sides. You've got separate pockets in there. Right, one up the top, one down the bottom. Right, but again, it fits nicely on the sides of the pack. Right, if you want to attach more or bigger pouches, right, you've got plenty of room on the sides of this baby, right, to put what you like on there. Right, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 molly loops. We're talking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rows deep. So some of the bigger 10x6 pouches, I think they're called on the 511 website, they may well fit on here. Haven't got them, so can't try them. Right, but again, right, if you need to ask, right, I'm sure that 511 will answer your question, will they fit? Move to the main compartment. Right, we've got these straps either side, right, which help compress the pack. Before we go into the main compartment, this organiser pocket on the front here, it actually separates from the main body, right? You could just flap it down. You can get all sorts in there. You could put a sleeping bag in there, small tent, poncho, you name it, right? But you've got these mesh gussets either side, right, which will obviously stop things from falling out. Not too sure what these attachment points are here. Got one there, one the other side. Couldn't find that out anywhere, but I'm sure that one of you knowledgeable chaps out there will probably come back to me and tell me exactly what they're for. But be nice to know. It's obviously to attach some sort of strap to because of the way that they're put together. Right. The main compartment for the bag, like I say, I'm going to lay this down for this because it really is cavernous. Right. It's quite something else. Just move that up there a bit. Right. It's the gloves on there. This is amazing. This is 23rd of October today and the sun's shining. Oh, it's a bit windy, but we've had some really horrendous weather recently and the temperature's gone up and down like a yo-yo, but here we are. But in need of gloves this morning, don't need them now. Right, inside, as I said earlier on, you're talking 8.5 inches deep here, loads of room in here. Right, you've got the pocket on the inside here with the shock cord adjuster on it, so you can cinch things down nicely. You can pop a laptop in there. Right, you put your clothes there, it's down to you guys. Right, another zipped mesh compartment on up the top here, right, which again works well. Again, with all 511 products, YKK zippers, best in the world. Right, never ever any expense spared there. Right, what else have we got? Ooh, one thing to remember, you probably picked this up on all the other reviews, you've got a fleece lined pocket here, which I showed you earlier on. From the top you put your sunglasses in. That does protrude down inside the main part of the pack, so just keep an eye on that when you're loading this up. Moving around onto the lid, or the main flap of the pack, big zippered pouch down the bottom here. These things are ideal for socks, underwear, that sort of thing. Right, put what you like in there. Right, then we move up to a same size mesh pocket on the inside of the main flap here. Again, loads and loads of room in there. And then you come to the top pouch, which I don't know why, but it's dual zippered. Right, don't know why, but it is. Right, doesn't really need to be, but perhaps somebody's got a reason for that. Again, I'd like to know what it is if you wouldn't mind telling me. I'm just going to zip this up a bit because we just want to move on to the bottom of the pack now. Right, double drainage holes on the bottom. Right, some people love them, some people don't. If you live in a particularly dusty part of the world and you want to bung them up, I've seen people use rubber grommets. Right, I've seen people use black waterproof duct tape, gaffer tape, whatever you want to call it, but you can still soon bung them up if you want to. You've got 4 webbing loops on the bottom here, right, which really are quite handy if you want to attach a bedroll, right, tent, sleeping bag, poncho, whatever to the bottom. You've got the means to do it with. Right, one bit that's a slight bone of contention with some people, with a couple of the 511 packs, the 12 and the 24, is a lack of a waist belt. Now, I very rarely use a waist belt. I use them if I need them, and that's it. 5 of them, they've got this tuck away padded waist belt system in here, which is brilliant for me. I don't need to disconnect the waist belt and lose it, which I have done with a pack once before. Right, these just tuck in, so if you don't want to use them, you don't need to. Right, again, nicely adjustable from each side. Right, I particularly like that. Right, if you need to offset the buckle to one side or the other, you just slacken off on one side, cinch down on the other, gives you plenty of room. Nicely padded each side. Again, more molly webbing on the waist belt itself. Right, so plenty of options there. Well, that brings us to the end of the Rush 72. Now, I'm sure some of you will have questions. If you have, feel free to ask. Right, please subscribe to the channel. There's a few more reviews to come up, and at the end of the day, right, I'll answer your questions as best I can. If you subscribe, you'll get the email updates for the new reviews when they appear. Any questions in the meantime, please drop me a line. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.